Hi everyone and welcome back to Rainbow Budgets and Plans. My name is Natalie and we are a soon-to-be family of 5 in the northeast England, and we are on a debt freedom budgeting journey. Basically I'm trying to plan my life a lot better to organise our finances, our home, our life, everything. So today's video we're going to look at our debt. Something that I've put off for a long time. I didn't realise it had got as bad as it has until I sat down and looked at it. So yeah, today is our debt confession, so to speak. If you have been a follower of this channel from the beginning, our original debt total when I first started this channel and my Instagram page and everything like that was just over £26,000. And let me tell you, it has more than doubled since then, which is insane. Nervous laughter because I'm completely ashamed that I've let it get this bad. Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, I've got my planner here. So this is my personal budget planner. I do sell this. My Etsy shop is currently closed as my little girl is due in the next few weeks. And I just didn't want to overcommit to sending out orders and then end up in hospital for a week or so and not be able to fulfill those orders. But they should all be available again in the new year, I'm hoping, from once we get into January. Oh, my computer's just having a moment. Just bear with me a minute. Apologies about that. So, as I was saying, my Etsy store should be reopened at the beginning of January, depending on when we are settled. Yeah, so personal budget planner. I've not set anything up in this planner yet, so I'm going to go through that video by video. But today we are just going to be talking about our debt confession and completing our debt overview. Now, whilst we have a lot of debt, it's not going to be our priority to pay this off and focus on paying extra debt off probably for the next 12 months, I'm going to say. I'm on maternity leave at the moment. Statutory maternity pay is going to kick in from January, which is not a lot of money compared to what I would have been receiving had I been working full time. So our budget itself is going to be a struggle, and we have nothing in savings, which worries me a little bit. So probably for the next 12 months we are going to be focusing on savings and making sure we can pay the bills and make the minimum payments on our debts. Make sure that we have a backup fund for emergencies, basically to make sure that we don't add to this debt. So whilst we are on a debt-free journey, I'm going to have to take it month by month in terms of making those extra payments, and whether we can make any extra payments or whether it is just going to be a case of paycheck to paycheck, building up savings so that we don't have to use a credit card anymore. So let's get into it. So personal budget planner, we are going to flip straight through to the debt overview page. So this is the first page that I'm going to be completing in this planner. As you can see, everything else is empty, and we will go through that together on camera. So yes, let's get into it. Now, the one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to tell you what kind of debt it is, whether it's a credit card or a loan or whatever, and what we use that money for. I'm literally just going to call them debt 1, debt 2, debt 3. And I have actually, obviously with it being Rainbow Budgets, I've given them a colour. So yeah, we'll go through it now. So this is the debt overview page of the planner. It does ask you to list your creditor, what the current balance is, what your minimum payment is on that debt every month, the interest rate and the priority in which you want to pay those off. So we are going to start with, sorry, I do need to write on an angle, so I apologise if that throws anybody off. So debt number 1, red, and the balance on this one at the moment is £658.99, and the minimum payment every month on that one is £29.28. This is the one with the highest interest rate, and it's shocking. I had no idea it was this high, but the interest rate on this is 63.7%. And I'm going to go through these in priority, so this is priority 1 for us. Debt number 2. Orange. And the outstanding balance on that is £766.45. And the minimum payment every month on there is £31.86. And that has an interest rate of 29.9%. And that is debt number 2. Debt number 3, yellow, and that has a current balance on it of £3,383.48, and the minimum payment on there every month is £62 with an interest rate of 24.9%, and that's debt number 3. Green has a balance of £534.55, with a minimum payment each month of £25 and an interest rate of 24.6%. Debt number 5, we're calling this Emerald, and that has a balance of £7,287.69. The minimum payment on this one is £331.67 with an interest rate of 12.4%. So that is number 5. Debt number 6 is teal, and the balance on that one is £14,276.12, and the minimum payment every month is £247.97 with an interest rate of 6.6%. Debt number 7, blue, and the balance on that one is £3,500. There is no current minimum payment on that one. It's no interest. It's just kind of a payback as and when we can. So that's number 7. Debt number 8 is navy. And that balance on that one is 1,500. And again, no minimum payment and no interest. purple. Balance on that one is £4,956.84. And the minimum payment every month on that one is £76.68. No interest on there. So that is number 9. I always forget how to spell fuchsia. It's one of those ones I always get wrong. Hang on. Fuchsia. And the balance on that one is £6,666.35. The minimum payment on that one is £200.80. The interest rate is 12.9%. And then last but not least, hoping you can see, it's very sunny in here today. Pink. And on that one we have 11,726.30, with the minimum payment on there being £242.23. Okay, so as you can see, it is a lot. I'm well aware of the fact that we have let it get out of control to the point where we're going to start struggling. We are already struggling. We have lived well above our means. Some would say we've been living a champagne lifestyle on a bottled water diet, and it's been hanging over my head for a while. But yeah, the only way we can tackle this is by getting ourselves in a financially strong position first of all. So yeah, so let's add this all up. I'm just going to move this to the side. So we're going to start with 658.99, 766.45, 3383.48, 534.55, 7287.69, 14276, 12, 3,500, 1,500, 4956, 84, 666, 35, and 11,726, 30. So our total debt as it stands at the moment is £55,256.77. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. Yeah. There's not really much I can say that I haven't already said. But debt, there's a lot more people out there that are in debt than you think. And we can't let it get any worse than this. This has to be the end of using credit, the end of thinking that monthly payments, because if someone says to you it only costs you £29 a month, you don't see it as the big picture, do you? But enough's enough. Enough is enough. So yeah, it's crazy. It's overwhelming, embarrassing, shameful. But it is what it is, and I can only hope that it gets better from here, and that this is the final time that we see that number. So, in terms of minimum payments, it is absolutely shocking how much we pay out every month in minimum payments towards our debt, which isn't helping our financial situation, because a lot of our income is paying off the past, and isn't allowing us to pay anything towards our future. So at the minute, our total minimum payments every month is £1,247.49, which is a big proportion of our income, and that is probably what I'm going to lose every month in pay once I go down to statutory maternity pay, which is what has made me quite worried. But like I say, we have to tackle this in the right way. There's no point me throwing everything that we have at reducing this right now, when next month our washing machine could blow up and I have to find £300 to buy a new washing machine, which inevitably would go on credit and therefore increase this number. So I think the best way for us to tackle this is to get ourselves in a stronger financial positions in terms of an emergency fund, in terms of making sure that we have the bare necessities before we even think about trying to reduce this down even more than the minimum payment. So the plan is to still make all of our minimum payments. We've been making minimum payments. We've not fallen behind with anything. Now, I have thought about a debt management plan, which is something that we might have to look into, especially once my maternity pay drops down. But we're going to look at that as a last resort. We have a house, so just so you know that this doesn't include our mortgage. So our mortgage isn't included in this debt list, and whilst the mortgage is a debt, it's an asset as well, in terms of our finances. So I don't tend to include our mortgage in these numbers. Oh, excuse me. We have a house at the moment, but it's not fit for purpose for a 5-person household. Sorry, I've got really bad acid reflux at the moment, and it's giving me like really bad, like, I don't know what the term is, but anyway, I'm fine. It's not fit for purpose for a family of 5. Whilst it is a 4-bedroom house, all of our bedrooms are so small that we couldn't fit a double bed in any of our bedrooms. So we have had to use one of the reception rooms of our house as our bedroom, which means that we only have one reception room, which is tiny, for a family of 5. When was it? I think it was March. It was March 2023. We got a really good mortgage rate, and we fixed that for 5 years. So that runs out in March 2028. So we have a really good mortgage rate at the moment. We only pay £570 a month for our mortgage, which I'm sure some of you guys across the country, especially those down south, would kill for a 4-bedroom house. So we have no intention of moving before our mortgage is due for a new rate, which would be, like I said, in March 2028. But that's the reason that I don't really want to go into a debt management plan, because we do want to move eventually. And a debt management plan can impact your ability to get a mortgage on another property, to get good interest rates and things like that. So that's the reason I don't want to go into a debt management plan right now. If it comes to it and we haven't got the income to cover these minimum payments and survive financially, then of course we will get into a debt management plan. It is something that I've had to do before, so this was way before I met my partner, so I'm not a stranger to a debt management plan, which just goes to show I have a really weak sense of spending. I have no control, and you would have thought that that first debt management plan would have taught me everything that I need to know, but it hadn't. So yeah, so the plan is to try and tackle this as much as we can by ourselves with the income that we have. Being really frugal. I think the best way for us to kind of rein in on our spending is through our grocery bill. But yeah, we're going to try our best to not go into a debt management plan. Should we need to, we will look into that. So let's have a look at the bottom of this page. So our total debt starting balance is the same here. So it's the £55,256.77. We are going to start repaying, or we're going to start tracking it. We've already been repaying it from December 2024. And it would be amazing to pay this off before our mortgage is due for renewal. So that would be February 2028. So what's that, like 2 and a bit years? It's more than that, is it? All of 25, all of 26, all of 27, just over 3 years, which is probably ambitious. So we'll see how we go, but just over 3 years to pay off £55,000 worth of debt. Hopefully we can do it. I'm going to try my hardest. We're going to get side hustling. We're going to get frugal. Yeah, our whole mindset needs to shift on everything that we do. In order to achieve that. So yeah, that is it. That is it. So that is the debt overview page of the planner. What I have also created for myself to kind of keep me motivated is some tracker sheets. So I've got our debt payoff and I've put them in order, the ones that we're starting with. So you've got the red debt, how much it is. Every time we pay something off, we can colour that in, and then I can write on there when we paid it off. So we've got red, orange, yellow, green, emeralds, teal, blue, navy, purple, fuchsia and pink. So that is our little debt payoff tracker. But yeah, I know that there's no kind of like order to this as well, because some people would either pay off the smallest balance or the biggest interest rate. I've kind of gone for the biggest interest rate until these last two, because these last two are also going to class as assets. You can probably work out from that what I've just said as to what these two debts are. But they are assets that depreciate in value quite quickly. So that's why we've kind of gone from highest interest rate to lowest interest rate, and then these bottom two, if that makes sense. So we're kind of following the avalanche method because we're doing it from interest rate first. But then what I'll hopefully do is once this one's paid off, we will snowball that 29, 28 into the next debt, and so on and so forth. But yeah. Thank you for supporting me, especially on last video that I posted. After I posted that video, it was probably the best night's sleep that I've got in a long time. And I'm trying my best to reply to every single comment that I get, because I know I was absolutely rubbish at that before. So yeah, just be patient with me, but I am going to try my absolute best to reply to every single comment. But yeah, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my channel. Yeah, here's to a new beginning. Yeah, last time we're going to see that number. I'm so ashamed at how big that number's got. I honestly did not realise. I thought we were going to be sitting on about 30,000, if I'm honest. So to see that amount was soul destroying. And I apologise to those who have been supporting me from the beginning. And then for me to just kind of double it and then some. Just a bit of a kick in the face, really. So I apologise to all of you. Yeah, it's just, there's no point dwelling on it. There's no point feeling sad about it anymore. It is what it is. But yeah, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, like I said, emergency fund first, and then we'll go from there. But yes, thank you for watching today's video. I'm going to stop whittering on now, being a bit of a pain. Thank you if you've made it to the end of the video. Thank you as always for everything, and I will see you again for the next video, which is when we are going to be setting up the rest of this planner. We're going to be looking at my goals, and then eventually we'll be looking at December's budget as well. So see you again soon, guys. Thank you. Bye.